Hi, and welcome to KOCT Live. We're at El Camino High School's Lloyd Kimsey Library. Tonight we have the El Camino Wildcats versus the Oceanside High Pirates in Academic League matchup. This is a North County Academic League contest. This is their final one. We also have senior night going on for El Camino High School, where we'll be honoring the seniors tonight. Academic League is part Jeopardy, and it's part Family Feud. There are times where kids buzz in and answer questions themselves, and then there are times where the team gets to answer questions, which are the bonus questions. We've got a commentator here tonight, and he's going to be controlling the match, so we'll have to be quiet at certain times, and at other times we'll be able to chat a little bit. Just so you know, as the game gets going, we'll have toss-up questions, and they get 5 seconds to answer those questions. That would be the individual part. And if a team gets that question right, then their whole team gets about 20 seconds to answer a bonus question where they can win as much as 6 points on the bonus question. Okay, we're going to toss it to Flavio with a little pregame highlights.
Good evening, El Camino Wildcats. I'm your foreign exchange student, Flavio Palangeliucci from El Camino, and let's go hear what Mr. Chambers has to say at his pep talk for the Academic League team. Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Coach Chambers, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. Thank you, Flavio. Thank you for being with us. Okay, team, our last test and our last match. Really appreciate the effort. Again, for a lot of you, it's been 4 years, and going to be fighting back the tears for you guys because I love you so much. But that's for the banquet. Okay, so tonight, okay, we need to drop everything, okay? And again, it's like our last test. And the tough part, right, is can we be at our best, right, on demand, okay? So we're going to drop everything and be at our best tonight. And again, I think it's going to require our best. Okay, a couple reminders would be we're always going to play the rebound, right? Free rebound. Hey, somebody, who is our go-to author? Okay. Well, no, but we're going to shout out maybe Frost, maybe Dickens, okay. Thoreau, go-to artist, Lautrec, Van Gogh, Monet, okay, awesome. All right, and then lastly, again, on any math problems, right, if they buzz in first, we're still going to continue to work the problem, okay, use that extra time. Awesome, okay. Oh, I'm so excited. We're going to do great. Right. The idea is, again, see yourself buzzing in first, and again, don't look to anybody else to buzz in. Okay, you be the difference in buzzing, okay? Aiden, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay. As we lead our little pregame ritual, I want us all to close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel all the tension leaving your body. Let's take another deep breath. Exhale again, and feel that tension start to leave, starting at your toes and working up, rippling through your body. You feel calm and at peace. Imagine you're floating, every part of you supported. And in this state of peace, I want us all to imagine sitting at that table, hand on the buzzer, listening to the moderator, hanging on to every single word. And then, Joey, what sound do we make? Psst. Beautiful. We get the question right, and we move on to our bonus. 5 points for El Camino, and we keep on this pace for the entire game. Let's prepare.
Bring it in. Let's go, team.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers, and thank you to the Academic League El Camino team, and good luck to both teams.
First, say hi first. Oh, my seniors, okay. Thank you for everybody coming to senior night. These students are spectacular. If you're anything like me, you're sitting out in the audience and these questions that are asked are in another language. I mean, I don't understand half of the, these kids are amazing, and I just wish I was more like them. So here's my seniors. Joseph?
Okay, I'm going to say OHS.
Joseph at UCSD to major in biochemistry. Joseph, give a shout out to his parents, his brother. This year, we were neck and neck, and right at the end, we pulled ahead. Joseph's advice for future generations is to stay golden. In academics, what symbolizes knowledge is a pen. So on behalf of the coaches for Academic League, we got him a pen and a little medallion.
He's going to go. He's going to go give it a mic.
Our next senior,
You want him to put the other mic?
Brianna Hernandez. She'd like to give a shout out to her mom for always encouraging her to work hard, and to Coach Chambers for putting up with the many jokes that the team makes. Her favorite memory was when we got the last-minute tiebreaker against RBV and then winning the match off a bonus question. Her advice to posterity is to remember to communicate and don't stress out. As long as you talk to each other, you'll come out successful. Brianna Hernandez. Our next senior, Aiden Valletti. Aiden plans to attend a 4-year university with a major in biochemistry. She would like to thank her teammates, Coach Chambers, and her family. She would also like to give Brianna a special shout out for forcing her to join this, her freshman year. Her best memory from Academic League was the RBV game sophomore year when they got the tie-breaking win at the last second. If she could tell the future teams one thing, it would be to never drink alkaline water before a match. Aiden Valletti. That's an inside joke. Our next senior, Jennifer Fukuda Duffy. Jennifer's future plans are to go to Miracosta for 2 years to make sure that the field of study she wants to do is right for her. Her shout-outs are to her friends and family for supporting her. Her thank yous are to the coaches for allowing her the opportunity to be a member of the team. And lastly, her advice is take the opportunity to try something new when the chance arises. The worst thing that could happen is finding out that it wasn't something that you like. Our last senior, our captain, my reliable captain, Micah Gutierrez. Micah plans on becoming a psychiatrist with a major in psychology. She plans on attending a 4-year university, but she's not sure which yet. It's an impressive list, let me tell you. She would like to give a huge thanks to her family for always being there for every match and supporting her. She'd like to take this opportunity to thank the rest of the team for being such amazing friends to work with and to have fun with. Lastly, she'd like to thank the coaches for guiding us through the season and last season and other seasons before that. Her advice is, Don't hold your passions back, no matter how ridiculous or impractical it is. There is always at least some skills attached to it, whether it may be the perseverance that comes with art or the hand-eye coordination that comes with video games. And most importantly, don't let anyone define you other than yourself. Micah Gutierrez. And we can't forget we have 2 seniors from Oceanside. I don't have a big bio for them, but our first senior, let's give her a huge round of applause. This is Abigail Austin. And their second senior, they're going to be tough next year. Shoot, Michelle Torres. And I'm going to pass, these mics are on, and I'm going to pass while they're going. Can you guys, the rest of you, introduce yourselves too? We want to hear about you. And I got my guy, Nolan. Where's Nolan? Nolan in the back. Come on up here, Nolan. Okay, can you guys just say your names right? We do that every match.
My name is Michelle Torres. I'm Abby.
My name is Delaney.
And my name is Paulina.
And then...
Hey, my name is Israel.
And my name is Casey.
Okay, we're ready to get started. We do have some water right there past one of the little doors. So help yourself. Thank you so much for coming. Awesome, man. I think we're ready to get started. But before we get started, we got to go back to Clayton, and then we'll get started. Oh, scoreboard. We got to erase it. Okay, yes.
Oh, you want to?
Be the last option. You know what you do? Because you put a button on there.
Okay. All right, so we're getting ready for the game to start now. The moderator, his name is Tom Robertson. He's a retired teacher from Carlsbad High School. He moderates everything that goes on tonight, from making sure that the questions are answered correctly to spelling correctly to all kinds of things. So first he'll give a toss-up question, and either team can answer the toss-up question. Whichever individual buzzes in first, then the moderator will call on that person. If that person answers it correctly, their team gets 3 points. And then they get the chance for the bonus question. They have 20 seconds to answer a multiple part bonus question. If they get that right, they can get up to 6 points in that. If they miss the question, if they miss the toss-up question, the individual buzzes in, he answers the question incorrectly, then it gets tossed over to the other team, and they get a chance to answer the question. He'll reread the question to them. They'll get a chance to steal the question away. If they get the question right, then they get the points, and then they get to go into the bonus round. So a lot of points can add up in this. We could have 50 points. We could have 90 points. We'll see what happens tonight. No phones, no calculators, no talking unless it's a bonus question. So it's an individual sport to get the toss-up question, but as soon as they get the toss-up question, it goes into bonus. Then you'll see the captain who sits in the middle. So there's 5 people, the captain's in the middle. They're the person that'll make the final call on what answers they do in the bonus question. So we've got Micah for El Camino as the captain, and you'll see her every once in a while. She'll defer to somebody else. So if somebody else has expertise in the area of the bonus question, she'll defer over to them, and they'll give the answers that they have. Otherwise, she'll collect answers from all 5 people, and she'll give the answers that way. So we're getting the scoreboard ready. The moderator looks ready. I think we're about ready to go. You ready? All right. I think we're about ready to get started here, so we're going to do a buzzer check to start things off. Okay.
Brianna, Aiden, Micah, Joseph, and Nathan. On the ocean side, Juliana, Michelle, Abby, Delaney, Paulina.
I think that's the first time buzzer check ever got an applause. All right, we are ready and our time is set. First toss-up question, varsity match. Give the earth science term for the long-term trends in weather conditions for a given area.
Oceanside, Abby.
Climate.
Is correct. Here's our first bonus for the night. Find the smallest non-negative measure in degrees of the angle formed by the hour and minute hands of an analog clock at each of the following times. Number 1, 1:10. Number 2, 12 o'clock. Number 3, 2:20.
So 1:10, so what? 12 o'clock, so it's 10 o'clock is when we hear. Right, and then 10
Yeah, but
is
I don't know
at
how to find the
2.
angle.
So 1 is 30 degrees,
1 is 30.
5 seconds.
2 is 0 degrees.
Yeah, I got that.
And what was the third time? 220?
220.
So
Time.
Answers, please.
For 1 we have 30 degrees, for 2 we have 0 degrees, and for 3 we have 45 degrees.
I can give you number 2 for 1 point. It was 25 degrees for number 1 and 50 degrees for number 3. So that's good for 1. Toss-up. Give the name of the U.S. government agency that announced last week that it would be,
Oceanside, Delaney.
the U.S. Postal Service?
not the answer I'm looking for, reread El Camino. Give the name of the U.S. government agency that announced last week that it would be extending the current mandate for mass use on public transportation and in transportation hubs through April the 18th.
El Camino, Aiden.
CDC?
No, actually TSA. TSA is going to do that. Toss-up. Which of the following 3 U.S. geographical features lies farthest to the west? The Great Basin, the Great Plains, or the Great Lakes?
El Camino, Joseph.
The Great Basin.
Yes, correct. Aquino, here's your bonus. How many true chambers are there in the heart of each of the following animals? Number 1, a white shark. Number 2, a raccoon. Number 3, an alligator. Number 4, an ostrich. And number 5, a bullfrog.
You want to guess 4 for all?
I mean, 4 for all sounds right.
Okay. There's 4 for all. It's okay. We have answers.
Okay.
4 for all.
I can give you 2, 3, and 4 for that. That's good for 3 points. The white shark has 2, and the bullfrog has 3. So that's good for 3. Toss-up. Give the name of the German philosopher who wrote the novel Thus Spake Zarathustra.
El Camino, Joseph.
Nietzsche.
Yes, correct. Here's your bonus. Give the English names for the 4 main countries or political divisions that make up the United Kingdom.
England, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Is it only 4?
Yep.
Yeah. No, you got it.
Just for
Okay. We have answers.
Okay.
Defer to Joseph.
We have England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland.
That's correct for 5. Toss-up. Find the value of x plus the quantity x squared over 20 when x equals 40.
Oceanside, Delaney.
10.
Not the answer I have. Reread El Camino. Find the value of x plus the quantity x.
El Camino, Joseph.
120.
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Spell each of the following words that are related to military ranks. Number 1, lieutenant. Number 2, captain. Number 3, commodore. Number 4, brigadier. Number 5, sergeant.
think this
5 seconds.
I think it's like an E right here, I think.
Time.
Answers, please.
In order for Lieutenant, Lieutenant. Captain, Captain. Commodore, Commodore. Brigadier, Brigadier. Sergeant, Sergeant.
That's good for 5. Toss-up. Find the area bounded by the lines y equals x, y equals 2x, and x equals 4.
Time.
Answer I have is 8. Toss-up. Give the name of the 1961 American novel that contains the following characters: Colonel Cathcart, Yosarin, or
El Camino Micah.
Catch 22.
is correct. El Camino, here's your bonus. Give the architecture term that matches each of the following descriptions. Number 1, a molding or ornamentation that projects from the top of a building. Number 2, a series of arches that are supported by columns. Number 3, a building that is constructed to be a burial chamber. And number 4, the base upon which a pedestal or column rests.
Isn't there like because the first one is like the one that a bunch of like old houses have? And we have the trimming. Trimming, okay, yeah, let's do that.
5 seconds.
So trimming, buttress, crypt, and scaffold. Yeah.
Time.
Answers, please.
In order, trimming, buttress, crypt, and scaffold.
Can't give you any points on those. This is what they're looking for: cornice, arcade, mausoleum, and plinth. Toss-up. What is the physics term for any device that can store an electric charge?
El Camino Joseph.
A battery.
Not the answer I'm looking for. Oceanside, a reread. What is the physics term for any device that can store an electric charge?
Oceanside Abbey.
Conductor?
I can't give you that. They're looking for a capacitor or condenser. Toss-up. Which NATO country is located less than 15 miles from a Ukrainian military facility?
El Camino Joseph.
Poland.
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Identify the 5 African countries that are members of the Arab Maghreb Union.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Time.
Answers, please.
Defer to Joseph.
Okay.
We have Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, Algeria, Sudan.
I can give you Algeria, Libya, and Tunisia. Excuse me. Morocco, and Mauritania would have been the other one. So that's good for 3. Toss-up. Which U.S. state has the second longest ocean coastline?
El Camino Joseph.
California.
Not the answer. The answer I have, reread Oceanside. Which U.S. state has the second longest ocean coastline?
Oceanside Delaney.
Texas?
No, it's Florida. Toss-up. Give the 2-word biology term for a change in algae frequencies in a population due to random chance.
Time.
Genetic drift is what they're looking for. Toss-up. Identify the Republican candidate who lost the presidential election of 1964 to Lyndon Johnson.
Time.
That was Barry Goldwater. Toss-up. In which 5th century BC Chinese treatises would you find the advice, know your enemy?
El Camino Joseph.
Art of War.
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Spell, using the English alphabet, the single word Spanish infinitive that means each of the following. Number 1, to travel, as in this summer I hope to travel to Iceland. Number 2, to mix, as in you have to mix all of the ingredients together. Number 3, to kiss, as in after exchanging vows, they're going to kiss. Number 4, to save, as in I need to save money for college. Number 5, to advise, as in I need to advise you to remain silent. Alrighty.
Defer to Brianna.
Okay.
For number 1, we have VIAJAR. Number 2, MEXCLAR. Number 3, BESAR. Number 4, GUARDAR. And number 5, AVISAR.
Spell number 2 again, please.
MEXCLAR.
Okay, I can give you 1, 3, and 5 for 3 points. Number 2 is MEZCLAR, and number 4 is AHORRAR. That's good for 3, and timeout, Oceanside. Alrighty, I think the time out is over. Any changes in the teams? Same as, so no buzzer check. Time. Oh, we do have. I'm sorry. Buzzer check.
Oceanside, Casey, Michelle, Abby, Delaney, Israel.
El Camino, do you want one? You good? Good. All right. Toss-up question after our timeout. What is the value of the tangent of 63 pi over 4 radians?
Time.
Answer I have is -1. Toss up, give the name of the country that claimed last week that it had accidentally fired a missile into Japan.
Oceanside, Israel.
India?
Is correct. Here's your bonus, Oceanside. Give the name of the English romantic poet who wrote each of the following poems. Number 1, She Walks in Beauty. Number 2, The World is Too Much With Us. Number 3, How Do I Love Thee? Number 4, On First Looking into Chapman's Homer. And number 5, Lines composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey.
Guys, I'm going to be real. Do you know any English poets?
5 seconds.
Oh, I don't know. Do you know how?
Answers, please.
Shakespeare for all.
Shakespeare for all. I can't give you that. It would have gone Lord Byron, Wordsworth, Elizabeth Browning, Keats, and Wordsworth. So no points on that one. Toss up. Which minor key signature contains 5 sharps? G sharp is the answer. Toss up. Identify the American author of the autobiography Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl, written by herself. That's Harriet Jacobs. Toss up. On what basis was John Hinckley Jr. acquitted of charges brought against him after he attempted to assassinate President Reagan?
El Camino, Joseph.
Insanity?
He is correct. Here's your bonus. In particle physics, give the names of the 3 primary properties of a particle. Answer, please.
It exists, it has mass, and conservation of energy.
I can give you the mass one for 1 point. Charge and spin would have been the other ones. And timeout, El Camino.
Thanks, Mr. Huggins. Today I'm here with Karis, a freshman here at El Camino High School. Now, as far as I know, being a part of Academic League is so difficult. Now tell me, how did your match go?
It actually went really well. We won, and I'm really proud of the team.
And what's your favorite part about being in Academic League?
I kind of like the adrenaline, like right before you get up, and then like the teamwork and going to the meetings. It's really fun.
That's so great. I'm so happy for you. Now back to you, Mr. Huggins.
Chatter that happens when we get into a bonus question. Mike is the captain for El Camino. Abigail's the captain for Oceanside. They're the center of the hub. You saw that Mike had deferred to Joseph. Excuse me. Joseph's better at geography. So, all right, here we are. We're going back to the game. So keep your eye out for all those little things.
And I think we're ready after our timeout. I know we had a change at El Camino, so buzzer check. Oceanside, would you like buzzer check?
No change.
No? All right. And time back in. Toss-up question. Give the equation that summarizes Newton's second law of motion.
Oceanside, Israel.
Force equals mass times acceleration. Or F equals ma.
Yeah, either one of them is good. So the first one's fine. Good job. Yeah, you have 4 different choices, so I had to sort through it and see the right one. Here's your bonus. Give the indefinite integral of the following expressions with respect to x. Number 1, x to the 5th power. Number 2, 5 to the x power. Number 3, cosine x. Answers, please.
For 1, we have 1/6 x to the 6th plus c. For 2, we have 1 over ln of 5 times 5x times 5 plus c. And for 3, we have sine of x plus t.
Okay, I can give you 1 and 3 that were exactly what I have here. This is what they gave me for number 2. They gave me 5 to the x over the natural log, or 5c plus sine, and that is it, or plus 5 plus c. And I don't think that's what you said for number 2. So that's good for 3 points. Toss up. What is the name of the conic section that is the locus of points in a plane that are the same distance from a fixed point on the plane and a fixed line in the plane that does not contain the given point? That is a parabola. And I'm not sure what I just read a minute ago. Toss up. If an urn contains 10 blue marbles, 5 green marbles, and 5 yellow marbles, what is the probability of drawing 2 green marbles with replacement?
Oceanside, Abby.
116?
Yes, correct. Here is your bonus. Suppose that you are arrested and charged with holding your principal hostage because you are trying to improve the quality of food in the cafeteria. I know you've thought about doing it. Answer the following questions about the legal terms and precedents related to this event. Number 1, identify the Supreme Court decision that requires the arresting officer to read you your rights. Number 2, identify the Supreme Court decision that guarantees you an attorney even if you can't afford one. Number 3, what is the name for the hearing in which you are asked how you wish to plead? Number 4, what is the name of the request your attorney makes to have the trial moved because publicity may have tainted the potential jurors? And number 5, which amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees your right to a trial by jury?
Okay, so Miranda, what's Miranda v. Blue? Yes, Miranda. Okay, Okay, anyways. Getting your weight right. What do you think is number 4? No, so number 4 is about
5 seconds.
What's 5? 5 is the amendment that...
5.
Answers, please.
For 1, we have Miranda versus California. For 2, we have Gideon versus Wainwright. For 3, we have no answer. For 4, we have no answer. And for 5, we have the 4th Amendment.
Okay, I can give you 1 and 2. Miranda's correct. I just needed the word Miranda. So once I heard that, you're good. So I give you 1 and 2 for 2 points. Arraignment, change of venue, and 6th Amendment would have been the other answers. So that's good for 2.
Good job.
Toss-up. Who painted the creation of Adam as a fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel?
El Camino Joseph.
Michelangelo?
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Find the range of the following functions. Number 1, y equals -2 plus 4 times the sign of the quantity x minus pi over 4. Number 2, y equals the quantity 1 over 2 to the x minus 2 power. Number 3, y equals 5 plus the absolute value of the quantity x plus 4. Number 4, y equals 8 plus the quantity x minus 3 squared. And number 5, y equals the natural log of x.
Number 3, 0 to infinity.
Answer, please.
1, 2, 3, 0 to infinity. Number 4, negative infinity to infinity. And number 5, 1 to infinity.
Okay, do it again. I'll accept number 5.
1, 2, 3, 0 to infinity. Number 4, negative infinity to infinity.
Okay, based on what they gave me, I didn't hear anything or that looks remotely like that. These are the answers they gave me. Y equals greater than or equal to -2 and is less than or equal to 6. Number 2, y is greater than 0. Number 3, y is greater than or equal to 5. Number 4, y is greater than or equal to 8. And number 5 was all reals or all real numbers. And I didn't hear anything like that.
Number
Time.
2, we put 0 to infinity, and that's the same as 0 to...
Okay, that's what I was going to ask somebody if they were a math person. Thank you. So, because I have no clue what I just read. So I can give you number 2 for 1 point. And cut out El Camino.
Hello, tonight I'm here with a crucial part of El Camino's freshman academic league team, Jacob. So tell me, Jacob, how did you do in your last game?
I scored, I think, 6 points with the toss-ups, and I don't recall how many points I scored with team, but I think I did well in communicating with my team, especially. I think I buzzed in a little too slow, which I need to work on that, obviously, for future matches.
Yeah. I'm sure you did great. Well, can you just tell me, do you think you're going to continue to do this in the future?
Oh, absolutely. Academic League has been such a joy to be a part of. My team is amazing. I really love competing with them. They're so nice. They're so full of energy. So yes, I do.
All right, and can you tell me who you're rooting for in tonight's senior match?
Oh, absolutely for my home school, EC, the varsity team.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time, and back to you.
Okay, so we've got a score of 43 for El Camino and 16 for Oceanside. This is a 35-minute game. Each team gets 3 timeouts. They might use a timeout to substitute players. They might use a timeout to ice a team that's getting too hot. We're about to start, so we'll go back to the game.
For the most common form of rust?
Oceanside Abbey.
FE3.
Not the answers, choices they gave me. Reread El Camino. What is the chemical name for the most common form of rust?
El Camino mica.
Ferric oxide.
Is correct. Here's your bonuses, or here's the bonus. State whether carbon is oxidized or reduced in each of the following reactions. Number 1, carbon reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. Number 2, ethane reacts with hydrogen to produce ethane. Number 3, methane reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Number 4, methane reacts with chlorine to produce chloromethane. And number 5, ethylene reacts with hydrogen to produce ethylene. So ETHYNE to produce ETHENE.
Okay.
Time.
Answers, please.
For 1 through 3, we have oxidized, and then for 4 and 5, we have reduced.
I can give you 1, 3, and 5 for 3 points, and 2 and 4 just the opposite. Good job. Toss-up. Identify the man who was born in Paris in 1808 but raised in exile, launched a failed insurrection against France's King Louis Philippe, was sentenced to life in prison, and was both president of the Second Republic and emperor of the Second Empire.
El Camino Nolan.
Napoleon III?
That's correct. Here's your bonus. Spell, using the English alphabet, the French word for each of the following computer-related nouns. Number 1, monitor. Number 2, keyboard. Number 3, mouse. And number 4, software.
It's okay, just do your best.
Just like monitor.
Yeah, you gotta.
5 seconds.
Can you repeat 4 and 5, please?
4 is software.
Time.
Answers?
Defer to Jennifer.
For 1, 2, 4, and 5, we have ORDINATEUR. For 3, we have SOURIS.
I can give you number 3 for 1 point. Number 1 is MONITEUR. Number 2 is CLAVIER. Number 4 is LOGICIEL. Toss-up. Give the name of the American playwright whose works include The Duck Variations, American Buffalo, and Glengarry Glen Ross. David Mamet is who they're looking for. Toss-up. What color light is given off by the hottest stars?
Oceanside Delaney.
Blue.
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Identify the particular genre of literature for which each of the following authors is best known. Number 1, Robert Frost. Number 2, Saki. Number 3, F. Scott Fitzgerald. And number 4, George Bernard Shaw.
Can you repeat number 2?
Saki.
Yeah, I got
5 seconds.
Short stories?
Yeah. Your guess is good as mine.
Time.
Answers, please.
For 1, we have poetry. For 2, we have short stories. For 3, we have novels. For 4, we have essays.
I can give you 1, 2, and 3 for 3 points. Plays would have been the last one. Plays. Let's get it. Toss up. Which 2 dramatic styles appear concurrently in Shakespeare's problem plays?
El Camino Nolan.
Tragedy and comedy?
Is correct. Here is your bonus. Give the names of the 3 countries that signed the London Protocol, thereby recognizing the independence of Greece in 1830.
I think one of them is British.
Call it or did Brandy, is that okay?
Isn't one of them British?
Yeah, probably France and no, Germany.
Oh, maybe Italy.
5 seconds. Time.
Answers, please.
Defer to Nolan.
Okay.
England, France, and Italy.
I can give you England, France, good for 3 points. Russia would have been the other one. Toss-up. In which monument in Paris is France's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier located?
Time.
That's the Arc de Triomphe. Toss-up. Give the name of the actor who was sentenced to 150 days in jail in Chicago last week for lying to police.
El Camino Nolan.
Jussie Smollett.
That's correct. Here's your bonus. Convert 10 complete rotations to the following units of measure. Number 1, radians. Number 2, degrees. And number 3, minutes of degrees.
And then someone 3,600 times 60.
Answers, please.
We have 20 pi radians, and then 3,600 degrees, and then 1,800 seconds.
I give you 1 and 2 for 3 points. 216,000 minutes would have been number 3. And timeout for Camino.
A couple things I want to remind you of. We have 3 different levels at Academic League. So first tonight we had a Frosh match, and then we had a JV match, and then we finish off with a varsity match. Practices for Academic League consist of going into a classroom, pulling out the judge that you see tonight, pushing on the buzzers, and practice questions. Each year, questions are released from the season before. As a matter of fact, tonight's questions were made specially for this match because we're not allowed to videotape under normal circumstances a match because that gives out the security of our questions. There's about 29 teams in North County Academic League. We're one of them. Oceanside's one of them. So they're all given the same questions on the same night, so they don't want them to slip out and teams would gain an advantage. See, what else do we need to know? All right, well, we're ready to go back. We've got a score of El Camino 65 and Oceanside 21.
Nolan, Joseph, Micah.
Oceanside okay? Okay. And time back in. Toss up. How many square feet are there in 2 square yards?
Time.
Answer I have is 18. Toss up. Give the physics term for the rotational equivalent of a linear force.
Oceanside, Israel. Torque.
Yes, correct. Here's your bonus. Give the name of the composer of each of the following music works. Number 1, White Christmas. Number 2, An American in Paris. And number 3, The Nutcracker.
Tchaikovsky. No, that one. What's number 1?
White Christmas.
White Christmas. Who else composed music?
5 seconds.
Answers, please.
For 1, we have Bing Crosby. For 2, we have Emily Dickinson, and for 3 we have Tchaikovsky.
And give you number 3 for 1 point. Irving Berlin did White Christmas, and George Gershwin did An American in Paris. So it's good for 1. Toss-up. In which U.S. city was an intact, full scale replica of the Parthenon built in 1897?
Oceanside Abbey.
Memphis.
Not the answer I have. Reread El Camino. In which U.S. city was an intact, full-scale replica of the Parthenon built in 1897?
El Camino, Micah.
Las Vegas.
No, it's Nashville. Toss-up. Find the area between the curve y equals 4x cubed and the x-axis on the interval from -1 to +1.
Oceanside, Israel.
0.
Not the answer they gave me. I have to reread El Camino. It says find the area between the curve y equals 4x cubed and the x-axis on the interval from -1 to +1. Answer they gave me is 2. Toss-up. Give the literary term for a phrase that repeats at intervals throughout a poem.
El Camino, Micah.
Motif.
No, not what I'm looking for here. Reread Oceanside. Give the literary term for a phrase that repeats at intervals throughout a poem.
Oceanside, Israel.
Alliteration.
No, they're looking for a refrain. Toss-up. Give the name of the Supreme Court Chief Justice who entrenched federalism in the U.S. governmental system in his Marbury versus Madison decision.
Oceanside Abbey.
Marshall.
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Answer these questions about human kidneys. Number 1, name the basic filtering structure found in the kidneys. Number 2, what is the technical term for the ultrafiltrate formed in the kidneys to excrete waste? And number 3, which 2 substances concentrations are managed by the kidneys to regulate the volume and osmotic pressure of the blood? Answers, please.
For 1 we have valves, for 2 we have kidney stones, and for 3 we have toxins.
Say number 3 again.
Toxins.
I can't give any of those. This is what they gave me. Nephron for number 1, urine for number 2, and salt and water for the 2 parts on the other one. Toss-up. What is the area of a circle which has a circumference of 24 pi? Answer they gave me is 144 pi. Toss up. The excessive buildup of which chemical in human muscle tissues results in soreness and muscle?
Oceanside Abbey.
Lactic acid.
Is correct. Here's your bonus. Give the name of the short story that matches each of the following descriptions. Number 1, Madame Lucelle borrows some jewelry from her fashionable friend and unfortunately loses it. Number 2, excuse me, a young boy named Doodle collapses in the rain, utters the dying words, "Don't leave me, brother." Number 3, General Zaroff hunts Sanger Rainsford in the island jungle. And number 4, Della sells her hair to buy a watch chain. Jim sells his watch to buy combs for Della's hair. Excuse me. A young boy named Doodle collapses in the rain, utters the dying words, "Don't leave me, brother."
5 seconds.
Answers, please.
For 1 we have the necklace. For 2 we don't have an answer. For 3 we have the most dangerous game, and for 4 we have no answer.
Okay, give you 1 and 3 for 2 points. Scarlet Ibis is what you're looking for number 2, and Gift of the Magi for number 4. Toss up. Spell using the English alphabet either the Spanish or French noun that means fox as in the fox is being chased by a pack of hounds?
Oceanside, Israel.
For the Spanish translation, we have Z-O-R-R-O.
That's all I need. Here's your bonus. Give the name of the author of each of the following works. Number 1, Bleak House. Number 2, Middlemarch. Number 3, Absalom, Absalom. Number 4, The Red and the Black. And number 5, Germinal. Answer, please. Okay.
For 1, we have Faulkner. For 2, we have Bradbury. For 3, we have Bronte. And for 4, we have Sinclair.
Can't give any of those. This is what they gave me. They gave me Dickens, Eliot, Faulkner, Beale, and Zola. So no points on those. Toss up, give the name of the lake in which the mythical Hydra lived. That's Lerna. Toss up, what is the indefinite integral with respect to x of -1?
Oceanside, Abby.
-x plus c.
Is correct. And you get your bonus. And we're going to stick with math. Determine the derivative with respect to x of each of the following expressions. Number 1, 4x to the 4th power plus 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus x. Number 2, 2 times the natural log of x. And number 3, tangent of x radians, leaving no trigonometric expressions in the denominator.
Tangent of x radians is secant squared. The first one is 16x plus. Wait, no, that'd be 6x squared. Or 6. Oh, sorry, 9x. Sorry, 9x squared plus what?
5 seconds.
Oh, yeah, wait. The second one is 2 over x.
Answer, please.
For 1, we have 16x cubed plus 9x squared plus 4x plus 1. For 2, we have 2 over x, and for 3, we have secant squared of x.
I can give you all that for 5. And that's our bonus game match. Close the final score. 6-4.
Mr. Chambers. Did we win?
All righty.
As you can see, you guys, as the match is closing up, we can see that these questions are really difficult. And honestly, personally, I don't know if I can answer any of these questions. Now, I'm here with Marley Wright, who is currently at El Camino High School as a junior. Now, tell me, Marley, how does Coach Huggins even prepare you guys for these questions?
Definitely lots of current events. Coach Huggins is great about reading the latest news and keeping us up on our information, as well as making sure that we have lots of fun practices. He definitely brings the fun to each and every practice. I'm so thankful that he's our coach this year.
And what advice do you have for the incoming JV team?
Enjoy the experience and don't ever play scared. Never be afraid to hit that buzzer as hard as you can, because you never know when you're going to get the answer.
There you have it, you guys. Please continue to stay tuned in, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, well, this is KOCT Live. We have El Camino coming out on top, 64-42. El Camino finishes their season at 4-2. Oceanside finishes at 2-4. We came to you live tonight from Lloyd Kimsey Library at El Camino High School. We'd like to thank KOCT for coming out and taking care of us with this event, and we hope you enjoyed, getting a little taste of what Academic League is. These kids work hard, they practice. Coaches are, teachers. Kids have this little specializations that they have, but this gets them to be able to flex their cerebrum a little bit. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.